Hey, what's good everybody? It's Lance again, and I'm here to give you guys another movie review. Today, I'm going to give you guys a review for the newest Steven Spielberg film, The Post.
Ask you a hypothetical question.
Oh dear, I don't like hypothetical questions.
Well, I don't think you're gonna like the real one either.
Do you have the papers?
Not yet.
This is a devastating security breach that was leaked out of the Pentagon.
The Post stars Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, and a whole bunch of ensemble cast filled from A to B-list actors, all from film and television combined, and this film is a big ensemble piece. This film is about the Pentagon Papers, which was a big deal that happened in the 1970s. Basically, Daniel Ellsberg was the major leak in this, and he leaked over 4,000 pages to newspaper outlets such as the New York Times, the Washington Post. All these newspaper outlets were able to get these Pentagon Papers to them, and this was a whole thing about the government versus freedom of press, what they were able to distribute, whether they were going to get sued or indicted or whatever, they were going to be put in jail because they were able to get these documents and put them out for the people to see, since the people had a right to know. I heard that Steven Spielberg wanted to do this as a passion project. He had actually filmed Ready Player One before doing this, which doesn't come out, I believe, until like next March, but he found out about this script, which was on the blacklist for a while, and he just felt very inspired by it, and he did it. And they literally, I believe, shot this earlier this year so it could come out, be right during Oscar season, which is right now. And it's amazing because it kind of like doesn't really feel rushed at all, even though it kind of is, considering the short amount of time they had to basically shoot and put this thing together. Let me just get off of the bat. The acting all around is outstanding. Everybody from Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, Bob Odenkirk, Carrie Coon, Alison Brie, a whole bunch of people, Bruce Greenwood, who plays Robert McNamara. Everybody is good in this movie. This is truly kind of a blend of an actors and script type of movie. The direction is paced very fastly. Janusz Kaminski, who is Steven Spielberg's premier cinematographer, is one of the best cinematographers in the game, and he proves that again. The camera movements, the lighting, everything about this film, the unique camera angles that Steven Spielberg just kind of projects, and you kind of just like absorbed by the camera movement. You're absorbed by the spacing, you're absorbed by the composition. It is truly a great film to look at. It's definitely one of the best shot films of the year, in my opinion. During the beginning of the film, it kind of just takes a little while just to get going, trying to make sure that they're an established newspaper, the Washington Post, because they're struggling to just try to make the budget that they need, trying to get investors, trying to get all these different things just so they can have a well-established newspaper. They're competing with the New York Times, they're competing with the Boston Globe, they're competing with all these different outlets. So they are kind of just like in the middle of that. But then as the story progresses and they finally get the papers, or they know how to get the paper, then it starts to pick up a little bit longer, and it basically just turns into this really like thriller kind of feel, whether or not they're going to publish these papers, whether or not they're going to not publish these papers to not risk indictment by the US government. And it's very good, especially in the second and third acts. This is a very fast-paced film. Like I said before, Steven Spielberg, he's one of the best directors ever, and he proves it again. He's like a master when it comes to dialogue and just having the actors feed off of one another. Meryl Streep, in particular, with Tom Hanks, their chemistry is outstanding. They know exactly how to work a scene together, and it's just amazing just to see them going back and forth, especially in the beginning and to the end. It's just great. However, backstory for the characters is kind of a little bit rushed, so you don't necessarily know their backstory unless you like know exactly who these people are before you go into the film. A typical person that might just go into this film probably will take a while to understand who these people are, but obviously if you have done your research and you've done your studying and you know who these people are, then you obviously will have no problem in understanding that. However, there are scenes in which they exhibit their past, such as their relationships with John F. Kennedy, and the former presidents and the new presidents. It's actually really timely right now, just considering, like I said before, the current administration and fake news and all of these other things that have been popping up in the media. Twitter captures that. However, in the 70s, So it's like one of those things where it's reminding us about the importance of the freedom of press and reminding us about the importance of journalists and investigative journalism. All in all, I believe this film is a really good movie. It's one of the best directed films of the year. I definitely can say that. Steven Spielberg proves that he's a master again, and he's just a great director. As far as some negatives go, like I said before, you don't know too much about the character's backstory unless you've done your research beforehand, and it takes a little while to get going until they get the actual papers. A lot of talking. It's basically a political kind of drama, I guess you can say. And yeah, and I think that's it. If I had to give a rating from a scale from 1 to 10, I definitely give this a solid 8.25. I think it's one of the better films of the year. Steven Spielberg has done it again. Definitely go check it out. It's playing in a theater near you. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to do another review very soon for the new Netflix film Bright. Stay on the look for that. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.